Goody, goody, everyone. This is Dayhawk, bringing to you my take, my review of Kamen Rider Revice episode 40. Well, the two major highlights of this episode is Ikki versus Daiji Skywalker, and Tasuke, if I pronounce it, but me and Japanese names, I always end up butchering it. But, Papa Weekend has been killed. Yep. So Mama Weekend has been killed off last week. And on Father's Day, Papa Weekend has been killed. Yeah, they sure do know how to pick 'em. Happy Father's Day, I guess. So the episode leaves off, with Daiji Skywalker pointing a gun towards his own family, his little sister, and his older brother, yelling and screaming that I wish you haven't existed. You guys are the enemy. And you see Ikki, I feel like he was overacting. I don't know why, but it's just on the screen, he looks like he's overacting. I'm not even sure that's even a word, but he's just overacting. And you see him stunned, you see him shaking, and if you were Ikki, I wonder what hurt him even worse. The fact that his own brother is pointing a gun at him, or him yelling out, I wish you didn't exist. I wonder what hurt him most. But you gotta love Sakura in this scene, because she's like, oh, screw this. She just walks towards Daiji, slaps the gun out of his hand, and gives him a slap. And she is like, you're not laying a finger on Ikki. What the hell is wrong with you? You're not acting like yourself. And typical Daiji Skywalker, he is, you don't understand. You're the enemy. I'm doing what is right. I am right. Again, he is acting like Anakin Skywalker in Revenge of the Sith. He believes what he's doing is the right thing to do. He is doing, God's work, according to him. And all of a sudden, Vale interferes and just teleports him away. And yeah, that's it. And then we lead to back at, HQ. And Tasuke has announced to everybody that Daiji is considered public enemy number 1. If you encounter him, you need to eliminate him. And of course, it doesn't sit well with Sakura, and she ends up leaving. Hana follows her, and then Ikki's like, I understand, but I'm gonna find a way to get through to him before I make that final decision. You get what I'm saying. And Hikaru, throughout this episode, he's being defiant. And I give credit in this scene where he points out, look, you can't make such a decision. Yeah, sure, you're the captain, you're the leader, but in regards to Daiji, it's up to Ikki and Sakura to decide, and he's right, But even though he was right, he's just being defiant here, because he cannot, he thinks that, quote unquote, his dad is being an emotionless bastard for leaving his quote unquote mama behind. Even though Tasuke made the right call, but he doesn't see that. And, it's what happens in war. You have to make choices that you need to put your personal feelings, your emotions aside for the sake of the mission, for the sake of the people, because you need to not only try to keep your soldiers alive to live and fight another day, you need to keep the innocents, the civilians alive, the people who are the people you are rescuing alive. I don't put blame on him, but Hikaru doesn't understand. He's casting blame on him, and he's being defiant. And later on, and especially in the next episode, he's going to pay the price for acting defiant. So we move on to Hana and Sakura. They comfort each other as sisters would, because Sakura doesn't want to be the one that encounters Daiji and be the one that kills him. She doesn't know what to do, but Hana hugs her and spend time with her, and that was a cool moment there. Another moment is, I should have said it on the highlights, but another main highlight is that Akaishi Palpatine has a new family in Daiji. And it feels like a reenactment of Palpatine and Anakin Skywalker and their scenes together in Revenge of the Sith before the big reveal. Because Akaishi tells Daiji that for decades upon decades that he's been alone in his mission to, spread the word of Giff. And this is the first time that I have someone who believes in my mission. And, I consider you as family. And, and at the tail end of that, he said that I never thought that I still have these emotions left in me. So he considers Daiji as part of his family now. And, someone that he can confide on and do whatever needs to be done. And even though Daiji is losing his mind, yeah, his goodness is getting out of control, and without Kagero fully in the balance, like I said in the beginning, he thinks that everything he's doing is for the greater good. And just like Anakin Skywalker, he believes everything he's doing is for the sake of the Republic, for Padme, his wife, for the good of everybody. And then we have this weird fight between Junpei and his wife, having a fight. And it turns out at the very end of the scene, it was all an act. Why? I have no idea. I think to show Ikki, give Ikki some sort of a solution, I guess, because Mama-san just casually tells Ikki, that you and Daiji, you tend to fight a lot. But at the end of each fight, you end up resolving your differences and you end up smiling and everything was going okay. And but before that, Ikki was like, do you have any advice on what to do with Daiji? And she's like, no. Nope, I have no idea. You usually fight things out, and that's it. Boys will be boys, right? So Ikki just leaves, and all of a sudden at the end, like I said, Junpei and his wife is like, is it clear? Yeah. So it's just, to me, that scene came out of nowhere. But yeah, it needed to be done, I guess. Comment on the comments down below and tell me, do you think that scene was out of nowhere? And did they know about the whole thing with Daiji being turned to the dark side and that sort of thing? I need to know, because what else have they Like, what was the true purpose of this whole fake fight if they didn't know what's going on? I don't know. And so Ikki tells everybody at HQ that I'm gonna face Daiji alone, and this is gonna be my last stand to try to reach out to him. And Tasuke said that, look, without you, the Mouth of Giff is gonna make his move, and he probably gonna make his appearance. It's too risky, but he lets him go, and the three riders will defend the shelter, and hopefully it will turn out okay, which unfortunately it does not. It does not. And so Ikki makes it to the gate. Ikki openly admits to Vice that he is scared beyond belief. He doesn't he fears that one of us may come out of this alive, and he's afraid of making that ultimate decision to kill his own brother. And Vice is like, if you don't want to do it, let's just hightail it and run, But Ikki's like, I have to face him sooner or later. There's no way around it, because it may be not today, but maybe tomorrow or the next day. There's no way of running this. But, he just goes in and waits for Daiji. All the while, the three riders, are getting ready. You see this army of foot soldiers and upper level demons approaching the shelter. And all the while, the episode splits into two fights. You have Daiji Skywalker and Vale versus Ikki and Vice, and then you have Hikaru, Hana, and Sakura against a mob full of demons. And as the three riders are clearing house, you see Ikki and Daiji fighting, with poor CGI and all. And all the while they're just talking to each other with this fight, like, why are you doing this? Akashi, the usual stick. Why are you doing this? You know that Akashi is using you. Giff is evil. He is evil. Don't you understand that? And we have power now than we had before. We have the power now to defeat Giff, thanks to the people that helped us along the way, and the people who sacrificed their lives for us to give us a chance, a fighting chance against this demon god. They believe in us. Believe in me, trust in me that I can do this. And Daiji is like, screw you. Like, you are all talk and no action. He's blaming Ikki for the deaths and the damages caused by Giff. If you remember, when Daiji asked his older brother, what do you prefer? Would you rather have peace or you rather have freedom? And Ikki again said the most appropriate answer. Like, we need to have both. I'm not either pro peace nor pro freedom. I believe in both. I'm here to protect people's smiles, and that's my job. I'm not pro peace, anti peace. I'm not nothing like that. I'm neutral. And Daiji again puts blame on his older brother, because due to his choices, a lot of people died. there's been a lot of damage, and if you would have chosen peace, again, none of this would have happened. People will still be alive today. And, he's like, again, it goes by, I'm right, you're wrong, it's for the greater good, I see you as an enemy, you're the one who is interfering with peace, and I'm trying to save humanity from the ultimate evil here, but you're not seeing this my way. And since you're in my way, just like Anakin with Obi-Wan, if you're not with me, then you're my enemy. And Daiji gets defeated. And then, going back to the three riders, they destroyed all the demons, but then Akaishi appears with his new demon form, which, by the way, looks pretty cool. And he easily wipes all three of them out. And then Tasuke appears, telling the riders to retreat. Please evacuate everyone from the building. And guess who's just being defiant here? Hikaru is being defiant. And Sakura's like, you need to retreat now. You need to come with us. And he's like, no, let me stay behind, give you time. Please. And Sakura's like, promise me you will come back. Don't worry, I'll be right behind you. And then Tasuke is like, that means you too, Hikaru. You need to go. And he's being stubborn. And because of his actions, he nearly got killed. But thanks to his quote-unquote father, he was the one that saved his life and took that killing blow. And Hikaru obviously got stunned. And his last words to him is saying the same thing. You need to retreat. You need to evacuate everybody. Go right now. And then he ends up leaving. And then you have this powerful moment between Akaishi, Palpatine, and Tasuke. And you get to see this photo of his family. And Akaishi asks him, like, is this your real family? And he said, yes. They died because of the dead man. The dead man, the demons end up killing them, and that's it, and Kashi apologizes, and he's like, screw you, I don't need your apologies or your sympathies. And at the tail end of that, he, on his dying breath, he tells Akashi that, I seen the future. It's almost like a prophecy almost, and it's strange when it's so weird for him to say, I have seen the future, like I know what's gonna happen, but he said that, in his last words, he said that there's no point to having peace without freedom. So again, it goes back to saying peace and freedom goes both ways. We can't have just one thing. And he prophesies that he will prove it to you. He being Hikaru, my son is going to prove it to you. And he ends up dying. He is dead at that point. And Akaishi says, you loved him, didn't you? But he didn't reply back. He just died. And yeah. At the very end, he considered Hikaru his son. And then now the two battles are now back together again, with Daiji defeated and Hikashi, killing Tasuke. It's like after that fight, Hikashi's like, it seems like Lord Y is in danger, And then as that happened, obviously it didn't happen, but Ikki runs towards his brother, but Akaishi appears out of nowhere saying, you need to get away from him, don't touch him. He is my family now, and he disappears. And that's how the episode ends. Okay. Let me say a few things before I take my leave. Like I said back in my last episode with Mama Weekend, they're trying to build character for Hikaru, making us feel sympathetic towards him. Aside from what I said about war, they're trying to teach us the lesson about war, but on the flip side, they're trying to make us care about Hikaru, and like I said, they're trying to force Hikaru down our throats, and if they are going to do that, it's going to have negative repercussions. People are going to dislike him even more, and people will cheer for Darth Y, aka Daiji Skywalker, Vale, or Akaishi, or even Giff to just say, hey, just kill him. Just kill him already. He's insufferable. Like, I know Daiji is worse, but it's just they're trying to force someone to make us like him, but it's not going to work. And it's the writer's fault, because they should have done that 25 to 30 episodes ago. Not at this stage where you guys are close to finishing your season. There's no way. And because of his defiance, because he didn't follow his quote-unquote father's orders, he got killed. And he's going to cast blame on himself even more. You know? But it makes you wonder, if he indeed followed his orders, will the result end the same way? Or it ended differently where he is still alive? That's something to think about, guys. Now, I want to say this. I want to give kudos to whoever made these two collages, because it's really... It just pictures the whole final arc of this season of Revice, because this is Revenge of the Sith, the Kamen Rider edition. This Akaishi is acting like Palpatine. He's acting like the Mouth of Sauron, because he is the advocate of Giff, because he can't talk. You have Daiji, who is acting like Anakin Skywalker in Revenge of the Sith. And it's so eerie, because in the last episode, you see Daiji leading the charge. But the difference is, I wish Daiji was more in the front, leading the Deadmans, than in the back. You know, I wish it could have done that instead. And the same way with Anakin, leading the clones into the Jedi Temple and leading the Jedi Purge. And in this episode, Akaishi and Daiji have a moment together, just like Palpatine and Anakin earlier on. And then at the tail end of this episode, you have, again, Palpatine and Anakin's burnt body, just touching the forehead, making sure he's okay. Same way here. Akaishi attending to Daiji. He's not burned or anything. He just got beaten, and he just disappears. This is just Revenge of the Sith, man. And everybody from social media has gotten this is Revenge of the Sith. And I wish the fight between... I'm sure there will be more fights between those two, especially when they have less than 10 episodes left. Hopefully, in their last fight between those two, it will be at least at the level of the Mustafar scene with Anakin and Obi-Wan, but I don't think they will go far out. You can only hope, but no. Especially with the terrible CGI, which, like, how many years have you been working on Kamen Rider and Sentai? You could at least, invested on better CGI. But okay, all right, whatever. But yeah, I think that's it. That's all I got to say here. The only thing I got left is, they sure do know, the writers know where to pick days on who to die, because for Papa Weekend to die on Father's Day, really? I know they don't celebrate Father's Day. They have Parents' Day instead, but it's just the timing is so. If you were to kill him off, don't do it on Father's Day. Don't do it on Father's Day. That's all I'm gonna say. But what do you guys think about this episode? Tell me all about it down in the comments below. If, like the good, the bad, the ugly, the things you want to get changed. And do you seriously think that in this last arc, this is Revenge of the Sith? Is this Revenge of the Sith, the Rider edition? I need to know, guys. I need to know. Tell me all about it in the comments below. Please give a like if you like it. Also, if did I miss anything, because sometimes I miss some things here and there, but let me know if I miss anything as well. So anyways, please give a like if you like it. Please subscribe, because it helps me out a lot. And have a fun Father's Day, and I'll see you all on the other side of Oblivion. Johnny!